Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Jalea XO. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about how to change your life. Okay, I'm going to be giving you something that's not an inside scoop, but not everyone knows. And you know what? Honestly, I'm going to try my best to make this as easy for you as possible because you deserve to live your best life. With that said, let's go ahead and jump into this. First of all, the first thing that you need to do is stop complaining and change. A lot of people talk about wanting to change their life. They say they want to do this and that, but they don't act on it. They don't act on changing their life. They say they want to, but they don't change it. And you know what? That has to be so mentally draining. Not only is it mentally draining, but the people who do this are quite literally keeping yourself from your heart's desire, okay? And psychologically, it's not good, and just overall it's such a draining thing, and why would you want to keep yourself from the life that you want to live? You deserve to live your life how you want to, live it. So stop complaining and change. Don't just talk about it, be about it. And I know that sounds like such a more it sounds like something that's easier said than done. And yeah, if you are used to just, procrastinating and things of that matter, then yeah, it probably is easier said than done for now. Listen, the only way to get better at something is to practice it, is to act on it. A cook does not become the best cook in the world, though it's subjective. They don't become the best cook in the world by only cooking once, This person, this chef, they continue to cook every day and they experiment, they learn. If you aren't acting on it, how is it ever going to be easy to do? You know? So before you say, oh, and it's so much easier said than done. Well, yeah, it is. It is right now. But as soon as you start acting on it, it will get easier and easier. So yeah, let's stop complaining and change it. And if you want more on this topic, go check out episode 1 of my podcast. Go check out episode 1 of Jalea XO. I talk about discipline and all that good stuff, all the things that come out under it. But actually, I've come into some knowledge recently, and I actually prefer to use the word devotion over discipline. However, the episode is the episode name, and I'm not going to change it. Anyway, it talks all about being devoted to your goals and whatnot, acting on it. So if you need help in that area, then go ahead and check out the episode. Okay, the first thing I'm going to say to help you change your life. Outside of what I just said, which is going ahead and starting, what are you going to start to do? Well, what you're going to do is shift your mindset, okay? You are not going to be able to maintain the lifestyle that you want if you don't shift your mindset. Say, for instance, I'm going to give an example that the lifestyle you want to live now is, making six figures, owning your own business. Well, if you keep telling yourself all the time, if what you were affirming to yourself is, oh, it's so hard, and you probably just can't do it, your business would never make it. If you affirm those things to yourself, this is scientifically proven. When you affirm those things to yourself, you're wiring your brain to bring those results on. What you tell your mind, it will bring about. And when you're telling yourself that, you're asking to stay in that predicament. You can actually go look this up. A lot of scientists talk about this. What you tell your mind, what you repeat in your conscious mind, it feeds into your subconscious mind and brings about the results. So, again, if you want to change your life, you're going to need to change your thoughts. Change your habitual thinking, and not just your habitual thinking. If you have a thought, I'm not even going to say that's negative. If you have a thought that doesn't coincide with the life that you want to live, then immediately reverse it. There's a book that talks all about this. I'm going to link it in the description. But yeah, there's a book that talks all about this. So anyway, in order to get the life that you want, you have to change your mindset. You cannot want to be like a supermodel and stuff, and then all you're telling yourself is, "Oh, you have the worst model walk ever and you're so ugly, etc." You don't tell yourself those things. It will it could work out for you. It could work out for you. But compare, actually I don't want to say compare. Imagine a version of you, the version of you now, and imagine how that version of you comes off. And then I want you to imagine the version of you that's confident and just having a narrative about oneself that fits the reality of what you want to live. Imagine the two different versions, and I know you might think, oh, that's no difference. But love, you can tell when someone has certain thoughts, whether that be high vibrational or low vibrational. You can tell. Okay, you can tell when a person talks down on themselves all the time versus when a person speaks highly of themselves. At least I can. And I'm not talking about the people that just like fake it. Actually, that's really a good thing, fake it till you make it. But when I say fake it, I mean those people who withhold this reality and this version of themselves in certain places, but then when they get home and they're by themselves, they switch back to talking down on themselves. That's what I mean when I say they fake it. The people who actually withhold this view on themselves, the people who actually have these thoughts, and you don't even have to believe it, but the people who are actively repeating thoughts about themselves that's like uplifting and stuff, at least for me, you can tell. And it's not like a oh, I'm better than you thing. It's a their energy is just so much more noticeable. And I know that for a lot of people that sounds like just woo woo, but genuinely, genuinely, it's scientific. It's scientific. Frequencies are scientific. The thoughts that you affirm to yourself, the thoughts that you have, it's scientifically proven that it wires your brain. Just change your thoughts. A big thing that a lot of people say is, what if this happens? What if this happens? And they're not saying it in the positive way. They're like, what if this bad thing happens? What if this bad thing happens? What if this bad thing happens? So you know what I'm going to tell you? If you're seeing it, from a 50-50 perspective, and I don't even care if you don't see it from a 50-50 perspective. Instead of thinking, what if this bad thing happens? Think, what if this good thing happens? What if this good thing does happen? What if it does happen? And that's much more exciting. That's much more exciting. Shift your mindset to bring about results. All of this work, it has to start within. You want to change? You want to change your life? Well, it's going to have to start within. So again, switch your mindset. And I know I didn't give a scenario on every different case of what thought you could be having, but the bottom line is, if you are having thoughts that do not coincide with the reality that you want to live in, reverse those thoughts, reverse them, change them, shift those thoughts. Okay. Another thing, the next point, a big thing, is a change in environment. There are people who probably can't change their environment, and for those of you that can't do so right now, just take all the other tips that I am giving and apply them. Eventually, you will be able to change your environment. A change in environment. Change your environment. If you are in a situation and you have the ability to get out of it. If you're in a situation where it's just, it's not where you want to be. It's not where you want to be. Imagine you're living in the city, but you prefer to live in like the country or something. That has to be so annoying. It has to be so annoying. And maybe it doesn't bother you that much, but the shift from the city to the country, if that's your preference, it'll be remarkable. I'm telling you, it'll be remarkable. It'll be remarkable. Not just that, not just the physical environment though, but the people that you hang around, okay? The people that you hang around should be uplifting, and I'm not gonna say that for every relationship you have to be able to learn something from them, but if this person does not fit into the lifestyle that you are aiming for, then you shouldn't, I wouldn't say keep them around, you know? And it's not necessarily that they're a bad person, but do you really want this person around? And I'm not gonna say cut everybody off that just doesn't fit your kind of lifestyle, but just really consider what you are doing, keeping them in your close circle. And again, I'm not gonna even say take them out of your close circle, but beware of having those people around. Because some people will bring you back down to the lifestyle that you're trying to leave, and that's not what you're aiming for. So change it, remove this person. But again, don't keep yourself in a situation that you don't have to be in. There's no point in doing that. It does not benefit you at all to keep yourself in an environment which no longer serves you or never did. It's emotionally draining, and it's just, don't do it. If you have the opportunity to change your environment, then change it. And again, if the people who are around you are not people that fit the lifestyle that you're aiming for, in some cases, not all cases, but in some cases, if these people are going to keep you in that same lifestyle, now it's different if these people are like uplifting you and stuff, and even then, still keep it in mind. But if these people are going to try and keep you down into the lifestyle that you are trying to leave, then they serve no purpose in your life any longer. Again, I'm going to reiterate, these people are, this is mainly applying to people who are not encouraging of it. And I'm not even going to say not encouraging. I'm mainly saying take out the people of your life who are discouraging the new lifestyle that you're trying to go for. If this is genuinely what your heart desires, and you're not like doing something that could hurt yourself, but these people are discouraging it, out of envy and whatnot, then take them out of your life. But other than that, I feel like people can live different lifestyles and still coincide with one another. So please consider that. Speaking of taking people out of your life who don't serve you, you need to look in the mirror. Because if you want to change your life, you need to change yourself. Stop all those bad habits. If the person that you are in this new lifestyle isn't coinciding with how you currently are, then fix those things. If the person you want to be gets up and goes for a run every day, but you get up and watch TV shows every day, and then you're mad because you are not currently the version of yourself that you want to be, why are you complaining? You have the opportunity to be that person. And imagine like you're that person, right? You want to wake up and run every day, but you're watching TV shows, and you go around, you're like, oh, I'm just so sad because I'm not being the version of myself that I want to be, and it's just not the lifestyle that I want to live. Imagine complaining on these things and then continuing to do them every single day. You're complaining about a version of you that you are not currently acting like, but you continue to do the opposite of what that person would do, I don't know, it may sound like a little weird, but what I'm saying is if a certain version of you wants to get up and drink tea every single day, but you're drinking soda every single day and then complaining about it, it's such a contradiction. You are crying because you're not that person yet. But when opportunity presents itself for you to change and be a better person, not a better person necessarily, but be that version of yourself that you want to be, you're not being that version. It doesn't even make sense. You have handcuffs on, and you could easily get your hands out of these handcuffs. Have you ever seen the TV shows, the cartoons, where the character is so tiny in the the jail cell bars are like so huge. The character could literally just walk out before the plot. They have this character just sit in the jail cell. That is you. If you're complaining and stuff and being sad about not being the version of yourself or living the lifestyle that you want to live, yet you're the one keeping yourself there. Like, girl, boy, whatever person, get out of the jail cell. Just get out. You know, get out. Why are you complaining about it and you're not even trying to change? It doesn't make any sense. Oh, you're sad because you're not this person, but then when opportunity presents itself for you to be this person, you're resorting back to your old ways. Get out of the habit. Get out of the habit. I know it's a little difficult, but again, I have an episode on this. Go check out episode 1. It's a lovely episode. A great way to start off a beautiful podcast. Go check that episode out. Why are you sad about it and then you're not changing it? You know? When opportunity presents itself, change it. But again, back to mindset. I forgot to cover something. The thing is, I wanted to elaborate more on this. When you're trying to change yourself, things are going to present itself. Like, tests are going to be brought about, and they're going to help you maintain the reality that you want to live, you know? A person who wants to lift 50-pound dumbbells but only lifts 5-pound dumbbells every day, and that's it, like that's their only type of strength training, it just doesn't work. They have to be thrown the 10s and the 15s, work their way up to the 50s, you know? But if this person, the only type of strength training that they ever do is lifting 5s, and then one day they're just like, oh, let me lift the 50s, but then it just falls right out of their hands, it's because they don't know how to withstand that yet. You know, they don't have the amount of strength to lift the 50s yet. And I'm hoping you're getting the analogy. The perfect example, the perfect example is the fact that some people, they want such an outstanding partner. But if they got that outstanding partner, this partner would be gone within a few seconds because these people, they aren't quite ready to be with that outstanding partner yet. So you're thrown tests, you know, throwing all these different tests to help you emotionally and stuff, help you emotionally be ready to have that type of partner. So please catch my drift. Oh my gosh, please catch my drift. But a person who's just like a narcissist and they're not vulnerable, if they want such an amazing partner, a partner that is vulnerable, if they want that type of partner and that type of person is thrown in their face, the person who's vulnerable and stuff, either they're going to leave that relationship or they're going to sink down to their level. They're going to sink down to their level. So either way, you're not getting the partner. You're not getting the partner. So it's a really big thing. It's a really big thing. The point of all that was to say, and it's okay to be sad when challenges are thrown at you, but just remember that a good bit of challenges will help you in the long run. It'll help you overall. It's upsetting then, but later on, you'll look back at it and you'll be, maybe not be thankful, but you will have learned something from the challenges. And that's my point. That's my point. So don't just give up on changing your lifestyle because X happened. Learn from it. Don't stop trying to change your lifestyle just because challenges occur. Challenges will occur, and you know what? Learn from them. Learn from it. Don't give up. Learn from them. And this brings me to the next point. Consistency over perfection. Okay? Consistency over perfection. If you're working on being a better person, being kinder, and you have slip ups, it's okay to feel sad about it, to feel angry about it. But don't shut down. Keep going, keep showing up. You have to be accepting to slip ups. When you're changing your lifestyle, you might not uphold all of that all the time, but it's getting back there in the ring and continuing the fight. I don't mean to use this is just an analogy. I'm not saying it's a battle, but it's an analogy. So again, be accepting to slip ups, and a lot of perfectionists, they get so upset because things have happened and now they're just like, they think they're a failure. They don't want to continue because they're so sad about that. But you're changing your lifestyle. You're changing your lifestyle, you're changing yourself, you're changing your mental. You are shifting something, you're changing, and slip ups can happen. I'm not saying they're gonna happen for everybody, but slip ups happen a lot, and it's what you do after. It's what you do after. I mean, are you going to choose to go back to the old lifestyle because you had a slip up, or are you going to maintain the lifestyle that you choose, the lifestyle that you want overall? That is the big thing. It's better to do what's best overall than to just act in that moment. This applies to like certain things. Imagine you have a disagreement with someone, and they trigger you. You're like, oh yeah, let's go ahead and fight. But that's what you want in that moment. Now imagine you fight that person. Oh, this is definitely an analogy of some sort. But anyway, they can fight that. They can fight that person. But later, if this was just a disagreement, 9 times out of 10, later this person is going to feel guilty. And I think 10 times out of 10, when a person resorts back to their old ways over what they momentarily want, they feel guilty. It's just something to consider. Like, do you really want to feel that guilt? Do you really want to? But remember, I'm not going to encourage you to slip up. I am, however, going to encourage you to be empathetic towards yourself, to not be so harsh on yourself for a slip up. I am encouraging that. Don't be hard on yourself. Be empathetic, learn from it, grow from it. In order for change to occur, you're gonna have to just keep walking. Change might not happen overnight, but remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Just because a person gets tired doing a marathon and then they like start slowing down for a minute, that doesn't mean that they're giving up, you know? May not be going full force, but they're not giving up. They're going to continue and finish the marathon. So finish the marathon, it might not all the time be the best and move at the pace that you want, but the important thing is that you continue. Before I wrap this up, I want to say, while you are changing your lifestyle, as I just said, it's not going to be a sprint, it'll be a marathon. But be present in that marathon. Don't just think about the finish line. Because when you get to the finish line, you're probably going to miss actually running the marathon. And I know that sounds weird. But like, even if you don't miss it, like miss working up towards where you want to go, even if you don't miss it, be present. Be present. It's a gift. Be present. Because it is a gift. It is a gift. Thank you guys so much for listening in to another episode of Julia EXO. I hope you all enjoyed this talk on changing your life. Please leave the podcast 5 stars. It means so much, and it helps more people find the podcast, which when they listen, it'll help them help themselves. So yeah, 5 stars, guys, and we'll follow the social medias. I'm on TikTok and Instagram. I'm also on YouTube as well, but I don't post anything there yet. But go ahead and subscribe. Again, one step is better than zero. One step is better than zero.